toi. Hi, I'm KJ.
I'm Tony, and you are looking live from a hotel room in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, just south of the Fort Lauderdale airport, as we're about to embark on our trip to Paris.
And it's pouring outside, which is a little concerning, but I think that we'll be okay. Plenty of people take off in airplanes when it's raining, but it's not the preferable environment to be flying in.
And it is, our flight's 4 hours from now, so I don't think we have to worry about a lot. In Florida, it may be scorchingly hot and raining again, and then scorchingly hot when we leave.
Mm-hmm. And this is our last day. These are our final hours that we are going to be in the United States. So how are you feeling about that? And what are your feelings about, we've been through quite a hectic week this week.
Yeah, honestly, as hectic as it was for me, it was easier than I thought it was going to be, because every single day we accomplished something big that we thought would be a big hurdle, and it happened pretty seamlessly. Whether it was at the beginning of the week, making an agreement to sell the car, then a few days later getting a rental car and actually selling the car, and then making sure that our office furniture was picked up and taken away, and making sure somebody came to our home and took care of that.
Took all our furniture
yesterday. Yesterday was grueling. I was exhausted last night. But a friend of ours came with a friend of his to take all the furniture, our bedroom set, our living room set that you used to see us sit on, that's now in his living room.
My office.
Yeah, your office, that beautiful desk, and the trundle bed, all gone. But, you know, I had to go do some other stuff, like I had to return the cable stuff, streaming stuff actually. So I went and did that, and by the time I came back, it was probably 45 minutes or an hour later, they had gotten all the big stuff out already. So they worked very hard, and it only took them 4 hours to empty a 3-bedroom house, which I thought was really good.
I think for your feeling of it being less difficult than you thought it would be, for me, I feel like it was more difficult than I thought it was going to be, in terms of the mental pressure. It wasn't, I think, because every day there was just this to-do list of so many things to accomplish, and so I do want to mention, you know, the whole overall goal of this was to take all of our belongings, give away as much as we could. We do have a storage facility, so there are quite a few things in storage, because of course there are things that are mementos and really important to us that we want to ultimately bring over to France one day.
Sure.
So we wanted to keep those things. So there's a lot that's in storage, but the overall goal was to condense everything into 2 suitcases each and a carry-on. and we were able to accomplish that. But are you going to share the struggle that you went through
Sure.
on your end? Because we thought this was going to be more of a struggle for me, and it was quite the opposite.
Well, I don't consider it a struggle. I mean, it's, you know, it is what it is. It's sort of like, you know, you have to choose what you're going to bring. And, you know, I have quite a lot of clothes and wanted to bring as many as I could. And I was prepared to pay for another bag. I thought another bag was going to be $50. And then I thought, well, maybe it'll be $100. Well, it turns out to be $200.
$200.
And, you know, that kind of, not that 200 is the end of the world, but it seems like a waste. And so with our new perspective on the way we're going to live our life, I condensed and condensed and condensed. And we actually have a pile of clothes here that we're leaving here, that we wore yesterday, that will not come with us. And some of the things I wore yesterday, I have a Notre Dame shirt that I love that I'm not going to be able to take.
One of the things that was hard for me and continues to be a little bit difficult for me are the emotions. Like, I think my emotions right now are a little like blunted. Like, I think that my feelings of excitement about going to France and this adventure and all the wonderful, amazing experiences that we're going to have is overriding the reality of people that I'm not going to see in person. So I keep reminding myself, telling myself, well, I'm going to see them on Zoom, and we're going to do FaceTime, Marco Polo, whatever. I'm going to speak to them often. But the truth of the matter is that that's not exactly the same as seeing people in person and interacting with them that way. And so a lot of people have been reminding us, this is the last time, or saying things like, this is the last time I'm going to physically see you, or I'm going to be able to hug you, and that's been a little emotional.
One of the things I think we shouldn't leave out relative to what you're talking about is on Friday night, the owners of our employer took us to dinner as a goodbye and a thank you. And we had a really nice time. And I think that how long have we been gone? 5 weeks? 5 weeks. Mm-hmm. In the 5 weeks since we left, I think they've really come to appreciate who we are, what we did, a lot more than they did
when we were there.
When we were there. And I think the reason they didn't appreciate us as much when we were there is all the problems that occur on a daily basis we took care of. Right. It never even reached them. Mm-hmm. And as the program director and the clinical director, I think that's a big part of our job. Mm-hmm. So now they're seeing those problems and feeling those problems and having to deal with those problems. And, you know, they really were very kind to us in telling us mm-hmm. how much they miss us, to the point that I was even getting calls from them Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon to tell us again. So that was really nice, and we're going to have a continuing relationship with them, of course. And I'm looking forward to Paris. My only negative about Paris is that we're only going to be there for a month, so I'm trying to jam everything that's Paris related into a month. And you may recall that this adventure all started with jamming everything into a weekend. Then we jammed everything into a week, and now we're jamming everything into a month.
Well, at least as far as Paris goes, but then we're moving on to
absolutely
different locations. And I'd like to make one more comment relative to that dinner that we had and that experience, is that it's always nice to feel appreciated.
Sure.
You know, I think sometimes we forget that even with our own family members.
Especially with our
own family members, yeah. Because I think the natural inclination is to think, well, they know that I love them. You know, they know that I appreciate them. And even though that's true in most cases, it's still nice to hear it.
Yeah,
so that was nice.
I think, you know, I hate to put it this way, but I think it's true. I think sometimes we take that for granted.
We do take it for granted.
And you become complacent in your relationships with those closest to you. And that's something that this probably, in reflecting on us leaving, is something that we'll stick in our minds. So.
And I hope and pray that as many people as possible will come over to France and visit us.
Sure. And several people have committed to doing that, and let's see if that happens.
We'll find out.
Some of them I think definitely will, and some I think are just being nice.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we are headed out shortly. We were very, I think, blessed here in a sense that daylight savings time is today, and so we were given an extra hour, which made it nice and relaxed to be able to shoot this video. And then we're going to hop into the Uber, head on over to Fort Lauderdale Airport, and we will be on our way.
And I think we need to also say that we were blessed and pleasantly surprised in that we stayed in the hotel last night, the hotel room that you see behind us, and we had never heard of this hotel before, and we looked it up online and it had good reviews, but we had no idea what it was really like. And it's I think 1.3 miles from the airport, and it's a beautiful hotel.
Yeah. Hotel Dello.
Hotel Dello, a little bit different name, but the room it appears, the whole building appears brand new, but the room is spacious, the bathroom's huge, and nice
it's
people.
Hilton.
Yeah, it's a Hilton, and it's.
And I used to work for Hilton, so.
So anyway,
I have a special place in my heart for Hilton properties.
So we were pleasantly surprised. We were potentially going to do this from next to the pool because the pool's right outside our door. But of course, the rain kept us from doing that. And by the way, since we started filming this, the rain stopped and we could see the sun in the distance. Yep. So before we actually depart from the hotel in a little while, I'm sure that it'll be blazing hot out there. So
thanks for joining us, and I will be including in this video, hopefully, some footage of when we land in Paris. So we'll be back then.
Tomorrow morning.
Us after traveling, how many hours have we traveled?
15, 16 hours.
15, 16 hours. We're in the Uber, hence the shaking of the camera. We're in the Uber, headed for our first apartment in Paris. So we'll join you there. We're here in the Latin Quarter. We just checked into our apartment, I guess you would say, and it's a little less than we expected, desired, but we're going to make it work. We're going to beautify it, and it is in a really great area right here, as you can see, in the Latin Quarter.
Let's just say it's a lot less.
It's a very, very tiny.
No elevator.
No elevator. It's on the fourth floor, which was, we almost had a heart attack.
We almost had a heart attack.
Bringing our luggage upstairs, but we're very happy to be here, and we're excited to bring you more footage from the area. So we're gonna go eat because we're pretty hungry. See you later.
With the Eiffel Tower in the background. And this is the reason we're in Paris.
We're here.